Long before the desert learned the names of kings, before palaces rose from sand and gold ruled men's hearts, there lived a poor woodcutter named Ali Baba. He owned nothing of value, no land, no animals, no treasure hidden beneath his floor. His home was small, built from worn stone and old wood, standing quietly at the edge of a dusty town where merchants counted coins and the poor counted days. Every morning before the sun burned the sky white, Ali Baba lifted his axe, kissed his sleeping wife on the forehead, and walked toward the hills to gather firewood. His life was simple, and so were his dreams. He wished for warm meals, peaceful nights, and a heart free from fear. He never asked the desert for more. But fate, as the old storytellers say, listens most closely to those who are not seeking its attention. One silent afternoon, while the wind carried whispers through the rocks, Ali Baba wandered deeper into the hills than usual. The shadows grew longer, the air heavier, and the mountains seemed to hold their breath. Just as he prepared to turn back, the sound of hooves echoed across the stone. Ali Baba hid behind a tree. From the dust emerged 40 riders, their faces covered, their eyes sharp as blades. These were no ordinary travelers. Their movements were practiced, their silence deliberate. Ali Baba felt his heart pound as he watched them dismount before a towering cliff of stone. Then, something impossible happened. The leader stepped forward and spoke words that did not belong to any common tongue. "Open, Sesame." The mountain trembled. Stone shifted like water. And before Ali Baba's widening eyes, the rock opened its mouth. Inside, gold glittered like captured sunlight. Ali Baba did not know it yet. But at that moment, his life split into two paths, one he could never return from. Before the story continues, dear listener, take a moment to settle in. If you enjoy timeless tales, gentle storytelling, and stories meant to be heard in the quiet hours of the night, consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps these ancient stories continue to live, one whispered word at a time. Now, let us return to the desert, where secrets are buried not in the sand but in the heart. Ali Baba did not return to the mountain the next day, nor the day after. Knowledge, once gained, does not always demand action. Sometimes it demands restraint. He carried the memory of the cave like a stone in his chest, heavy and unmoving, reminding him with every breath that his life had brushed against something far larger than himself. The desert, however, has no patience for hesitation. When Ali Baba finally returned to his routine, the ordinary world felt altered. The sound of his axe against wood seemed too loud. The marketplace felt crowded and thin at the same time, filled with voices that spoke of prices and profits while he carried a secret that could not be measured in coins. Every shadow appeared deeper, every silence longer. At night, when the town slept, the cave returned to him in dreams. He saw the mountain opening again and again, heard the echo of the words that had unlocked it, and felt the weight of gold pressing down upon his hands. He woke each time with a sense of loss rather than joy, as if the treasure had already begun to take something from him. His wife noticed the change before he spoke of it. She had known Ali Baba since childhood, knew the rhythm of his moods and the quiet steadiness of his heart. When his answers grew shorter and his gaze lingered too long on nothing at all, she asked him what troubled him. Ali Baba hesitated, then told her everything, from the riders to the mountain to the words that moved stone. She listened without interruption. When he finished, she did not smile. She did not scold him. She simply said that secrets born in darkness often demand light. And that whatever he chose next would shape not only his life, but theirs. They agreed to return once, and only once. At dawn, before the heat thickened the air, Ali Baba went back to the mountain. He spoke the words with care, entered the cave, and took only what his arms could carry without strain. He did not touch the jewels that glittered like promises, nor the silks folded like captured sunsets. He chose coins dulled by time, heavy but honest, and left the rest untouched. The mountain closed behind him without protest. Ali Baba returned home and hid the gold beneath the floor, beneath the place where his children slept, beneath the life he had always known. He told himself it was temporary, that the secret would fade, that the cave would remain silent forever. But secrets do not fade. They spread. The first sign came quietly, as most troubles do. Ali Baba's brother Qasim was a merchant, well-fed and well-dressed, a man whose success had taught him to trust numbers more than people. When his wife borrowed a scale from Ali Baba's household and returned it dusted with gold, Qasim noticed. He asked questions with the patience of someone who already believes he deserves the answers. Ali Baba tried to deflect him. He spoke of luck, of small gains, of debts repaid. Qasim smiled politely and pressed harder. By nightfall, the truth had been pulled from Ali Baba like a loose thread, unraveling far more than intended. Qasim listened with widening eyes. Gold, to him, was not a burden. It was a language he spoke fluently, a promise he trusted more than caution. He dismissed Ali Baba's fears as the anxieties of a man unaccustomed to opportunity. Before dawn, Qasim had already decided what he would do. He rode to the mountain alone. The cave opened to him as it had to Ali Baba, obedient to the ancient words. Inside, Qasim forgot time. He touched everything he could reach, counting not with care, but with hunger. The cave did not resist him. It waited. When the riders returned, they found Qasim where gold should have been alone. Ali Baba searched for his brother when he did not return, following the same path into the hills with a heart already heavy with knowledge. What he found inside the cave was not wealth, but consequence. He brought Qasim home in silence, with the help of a tailor sworn to secrecy, and buried him without ceremony. The town spoke of illness and sudden loss. Ali Baba spoke to no one at all. But the thieves noticed. The cave, which had known only their footsteps for years, had been disturbed. Gold had shifted. Dust had been broken. Someone had entered and left alive. They vowed to find who. From this moment, the story no longer belonged to Ali Baba alone. Morgiana, the household servant, had been with Qasim's family before the loss, and with Ali Baba's afterward. She was young, but her eyes held a calm awareness sharpened by years of watching without being seen. Where others overlooked details, Morgiana collected them. She noticed the stranger who lingered too long near the house, pretending to count tiles while memorizing doors. She noticed the mark scratched faintly beside the entrance one morning, a sign meant to guide someone back. That night, she erased it. The following evening, another mark appeared. Morgiana did not remove it alone. She moved through the street quietly, marking every door the same way, turning intention into confusion. Whoever returned would find nothing but uncertainty. Ali Baba did not know how close danger had already come. Days passed. Then the merchants arrived. They came with camels laden with oil jars and smiles practiced enough to seem kind. Their leader spoke with generosity, praising Ali Baba's hospitality and offering friendship with ease. Ali Baba, raised to believe that kindness should be returned with kindness, welcomed them. Morgiana watched. She listened to the sound the jars made when moved, to the way the camels shifted as if burdened by something heavier than oil. When the house slept, she returned with a lamp and tested the jars one by one. Inside them waited breath. 40 men hid in darkness, waiting for night to deepen. Morgiana did not panic. Panic wastes time, and time was something she could not afford. She heated oil until it shimmered, then poured it carefully, jar by jar, extinguishing the threat without a cry, without a struggle. By morning, the danger lay silent. The leader escaped. He returned later alone, disguised not as a merchant, but as a friend. He learned Ali Baba's name, his habits, his trust. He believed patience would succeed where force had failed. Morgiana saw him for what he was. When the moment came, she danced. Her movements were light, her smile warm, her blade hidden within beauty. The leader did not realize the truth until it was too late. When silence returned, it stayed. Ali Baba freed Morgiana and honored her as family. He sealed the cave forever, leaving the gold untouched, understanding at last that survival was not earned by wealth, but by wisdom and loyalty. The desert kept the rest. Years passed. The cave remained sealed. The gold was never spoken of again. Ali Baba lived comfortably, but never proudly. He taught his children that wealth gained without peace is a burden, not a blessing. Morgiana was freed and honored, not for her actions alone, but for her loyalty, which proved stronger than fear. And so the desert returned to silence. If this story followed you into the quiet of the night, let it remind you that the greatest treasures are not hidden in mountains, but in calm hearts and wise choices. May your dreams be gentle, your sleep be deep, and your night be free from worry. Good night, and sleep well.